Hola tíos, ¿cómo estáis? Voy a enseñaros hoy de qué va el AI Story Quest. Es una página web. Me parece muy curioso porque, bueno, ahora mismo está en Early Access, ¿no? Me han dejado acceso anticipado para probarlo. Pero va a salir ahora en abril. Y me ha parecido muy curioso porque básicamente es una IA que además de generarte textos, te genera imágenes en una especie de aventura de rol, ¿no? Por decirlo así. A mí lo que me ha gustado más es ponerle cosas un poco vagas y que él se lo vaya inventando, pero si quieres ponerle frases muy concretas, también las interpreta. O sea, esto es un poco como aquellos juegos antiguos de texto en los que podías decir, habla con el enano, dale las botas y ese tipo de cosas. Pero la gracia que tiene es que está generado por IA, así que son ligeramente diferentes, ¿no? Todas las... eh, bueno, las aventuras tiene sus imágenes generadas por IA también y también tiene pues muy interesante lo que es el tema de que te va narrando, ¿no? Tiene una voz, un texto speech que te lo va narrando. El único problema que tiene que está en inglés. No sé si me imagino que sí, porque las IAs hoy en día ya trabajan en todos los idiomas. No sé si lo cambiarán o si lo mejorarán para que esté en más idiomas, pero de momento está solo en inglés. Pero bueno, a mí ya he dicho, las pruebas que he hecho me gusta ser un poco, pues eso, ¿no? Un poco vago. Pero por ejemplo, le vamos a poner una acción, algo muy fácil, cavar, dig. Y él se va a inventar una historia con todo esto, básicamente.
As you dig through the rough terrain, a horde of goblins suddenly ambush you. They were hiding in the nearby bushes. And now they charge toward you with rusty swords in their filthy hands. What do you do?
Como veis, es una aventura muy simple. Mientras estabas cavando en el terreno, una horda de goblins te embosca. Y pues ahora puedes decir, por ejemplo, mm, lucha. Me va un poco lagueado, pero esto no es de la página, es de mi navegador que le he quitado la aceleración por hardware y se me
You
había
draw your
olvidado
weapon and
volver a
prepare
ponerla,
for
pero no pasa
battle.
nada.
The goblins swarm around you, their sharp blades slicing the air. You manage to fend them off, but not without receiving a few wounds. The goblins retreat, but you notice they stole some of your supplies.
Vaya.
You continue to dig, but you feel like someone, or something, is watching you. The hole you're digging seems to go deeper than you expected, and you can hear some strange whispers coming from its depths. What do you do next?
Escuchamos unos... No, sé, no dejamos de cavar y escuchamos unos susurros. Podemos investigar. Dice que es un juego muy chulo para
You
streamear y que
cautiously
el chat te
approach the
vaya dando
mouth of the hole
ideas.
and peer into the darkness. The echoes of the whispers grow louder, and you start to discern words. They seem to be insistent whispers, telling you to abandon your digging and flee. Suddenly, a long, bony hand reaches out from the shadows and grabs your ankle. You struggle to
Vaya,
free yourself, but the grip is too strong. You're
vaya.
being pulled down into the hole. What do you do next?
Ahora podemos tirarle una bola curva a la IA y hacerle algo en plan, me transformo en un dragón y mato a todos, o simplemente seguirle el juego de la historia que se está inventando, ¿no? Podemos decirle, mantén la calma.
Despite the terror, you try to remain calm, focusing on freeing yourself from the bony hand's grip. Suddenly, a figure
Si
rises from the
mejorasen la
top
voz,
of the hole, its
el
face
texto
shrouded
speech,
in
con un
darkness.
poco más
You
natural.
can't make out what it is, but you sense an overwhelming aura of malevolence emanating from it.
Malevolencia, ¿eh?
The whispering voices intensify, their words now becoming clearer. Be gone from this place, intruder, or suffer the consequences.
Ok.
What do you do next in this precarious situation?
Pues ahora podemos irnos. O sea, quiere decir, vete de este lugar y es el que me agarra con la mano. Pero o podemos lanzarle una bola curva a la IA, en plan... Contar un chiste. Siempre, ¿sabes? La IA siempre va a intentar llevarnos el juego para que tengamos una aventurilla.
You muster up your courage and decide to defuse the situation with humor. Did you hear about the goblin who joined an orchestra? He played the shrieking violin. You nervously chuckle. Surprisingly, the whispers stop, and the ominous figure retreats back into the hole.
Esto es un poco lo que hace Bilbo con el...
Shaken but alive. As you continue to dig, you find a hidden chamber filled with treasures beyond your
¡Oh!
imagination.
Vaya, ha funcionado mi treta.
However, a powerful curse seems to be protecting the treasure.
Vaya,
What do you do next to face this challenge?
vaya, hay una curse que protege el tesoro. Pues nada. Keep digging. O podemos intentar dispelear la curse o podemos dejar el tesoro. Leave the treasure. Ya digo, estoy utilizando mi navegador secundario y tengo desactivada la aceleración. Y por eso va un poco F.
As you take a closer look at the treasures, you realize that the curse protecting them is far beyond your skills to dispel. You decide to leave the treasure alone.
Y como veis, genera una imagen.
Your journey. However, as you start to leave the chamber, a group of fierce bandits appear.
Vaya.
They demand that you give them your weapons, your supplies,
Vaya,
and any treasure that you possess. What do you do?
vaya. Vale, un segundo, voy a activar la aceleración 3D para que veáis cómo va. Vale, no me deja, tengo que reiniciarlo, pero bueno. Algo haremos ahora. A ver. ¿Qué hacemos? Offer them the treasure. No sé realmente por qué va tan mal, ni siquiera se me...
You take a deep breath and try to negotiate with the bandits.
Se me sube la
You
CPU ni
offer
nada.
them the treasures from the hidden chamber in exchange for safe passage. The bandits seem pleased by your offer.
Les hemos
But
ofrecido
they don't entirely trust you. They
el
ask
tesoro
you to
maldito.
show them the treasures before deciding if they will accept the deal. With no other choice, you reveal the treasure, hoping that they will keep their end of the bargain. Suddenly, you realize that some of the treasure is cursed and might cause harm to the bandits. What do you do next?
Me importa una mierda. Let them have the curse treasure. Como veis, se acuerda de que estaba maldito el tesoro.
You reluctantly show them the cursed items, warning them of the danger they pose. However, the bandits are not deterred and insist on taking everything. You resign yourself to the fact that you cannot do anything to stop them. And you allow them to take the cursed treasure. As they leave, you realize that you've narrowly escaped with your life.
Hemos sobrevivido. Algo es algo.
Valuable resources.
Vaya.
You now find yourself stranded in the wilderness with no supplies.
No.
Long journey ahead of you.
Vaya.
What's your next move?
Ok. Vamos a buscar cualquier objeto útil que los bandidos hayan podido dejar atrás.
As the bandits depart, you quickly search through the area for anything they might have missed. You soon come across a small bag they left behind, containing a few rations,
Oh.
a flask of water,
Uh.
a map. The map shows the surrounding area and might lead you to a nearby village that can provide you with the supplies needed for your journey. As you study the map and plan your next move, you notice something sinister lurking in a nearby forest. You see pale,
Vaya.
humanoid figures emerging from the shadows, covered in gore and filth. They seem to be ghouls, and they're
Vaya.
closing in on you fast. What do you do next?
Vaya. Joder, tío. No me deja, ¿sabes? No me deja una. Ghouls ahora. Vale. Run to the village. Vamos a ir corriendo para que no nos pillen los ghouls a ese pueblo que parece, ¿sabes? Igual no creo que luchar sea lo correcto.
Gather your things and make a run for the village, hoping to outrun the ghouls behind you.
Yeah.
As you sprint through the forest, you hear their unearthly screams and moans growing louder. You manage to keep ahead of them, moments away from the safety offered by the village. As you reach the town, you realize that it is under attack by a horde of undead.
¡Joder!
You also see that the village is surrounded by a magical barrier, with only one entrance that is currently guarded by warriors. You approach the warriors and plead for safe passage, mentioning the danger posed by the ghouls on your tail.
Madre mía.
Warriors are skeptical, but eventually decide to let you in.
Vale, menos mal.
But at the same time, you know that staying in the village
Claro.
could bring other dangers.
Claro, si la están atacando a la aldea, madre mía. Ok, ostras, está haciendo una aventurita bastante larga. La última vez me la hizo más cortita, ¿eh? La última vez me la hizo un poquito más... Vale. ¿Qué podemos hacer? A la aldea la están atacando los Undead, ¿no? Vamos a hablar... Vamos a hablar con el cura de la aldea para buscar una solución para mandar a los no muertos atrás. Ya digo, el malo que tiene que estar en inglés. Pero bueno, la otra vez me hice una aventurita muy corta. Era en plan, saltas por un puente, te encuentras con unos goblins.
You decide to speak with the village priest about the situation. You find the priest in the chapel, surrounded by nervous villagers. The priest seems to be casting some kind of protection spell on the barrier. You approach the priest and explain your situation. The priest listens to your story and suggests that you assist in fighting the undead. The priest advises that the protection spell can hold up for a long time, but won't last forever, and it's essential to attack the undead as soon as possible. The priest explains that there is an enchanted weapon stored in the crypt beneath the chapel.
Oh.
Could help you fight the undead.
Ok.
Take the weapon but must return it after the battle.
De acuerdo.
The priest also insists that you coordinate with other warriors in the village. As it's
Vamos a tirarle una bola.
alone.
Vamos a tirarle una bola. Vamos a coger la espada. Y vamos a sugerir que la criatura donde Dick Hall puede estar conectada con los no muertos. O sea, le puedes tirarle bolas curvas al este o simplemente decir andar, explorar. ¿Sabéis? Eso es lo que mola realmente. Supongo que hay generadores de dungeon también, pero es, ¿sabéis, no? Lo que no tengo ni idea de qué van a hacer, si va a ser de pago, si no...
Undead. As you lift the sword of protection from the crypt, you notice the symbol engraved on it is reminiscent of the creature you encountered in the
¿Veis cómo lo ha hilado?
excavation site. You begin to wonder if the creature had something to do
¿Veis cómo lo ha hilado?
with the outbreak. You leave the chapel and head back to the excavation site to investigate further.
Le he dicho que lo hilara y ha hilado que la criatura que me encontré, que me agarró por la pierna, podía estar relacionada. ¿Está guay o no está guay?
It's at this moment that a thought occurs to you. Could there be a connection between the creature, the rogue mages, and the undead outbreak? You decide it's time to investigate the ruins. What do you do next?
Vale, lo de los magos Rose, ¿de dónde lo has sacado? Vale, vamos a buscar por... Vamos a buscar ayuda. Y vamos a ir a las ruinas para buscar a la criatura. Porque solos igual nos fucan, ¿sabéis? Que esto en cualquier momento se le puede ir la olla a la IA y decirme que me mata un canto rodado que piso.
You need some backup if you're going to investigate the ruins and track down that creature. You decide to gather a party of adventurers or warriors to help you through the journey. You head back to the village and request for help from the local warriors. After several attempts, you finally manage to recruit a group of 4 highly skilled warriors willing to help you.
Genial, ayuda.
You make your way through the wilderness towards the ruins. As you draw closer to the ruins, a sense of fear and unease grips the party. They've heard rumors of terrifying creatures lurking in the shadows.
Vale, van a necesitar... Van a necesitar un discurso inspirador, ¿eh?
Soon, you catch a glimpse of the ruins, and it becomes clear why they are known to be haunted. A thick mist covers the ground, and the eerie silence is disturbed only by the occasional rustling of leaves. You press on, and before long, you encounter the creature. It's much larger than you anticipated, with an otherworldly aura about it. The party prepares to engage the creature as it begins to move towards you. You brace yourself for what is about to come.
Me va a atacar. Ok. Vale. Remember. No. Uso la espada encantada con toda mi fuerza y rezamos para que el dios de la luz guíe mis golpes. ¿Qué os parece? En plan paladín. O podría haber dicho que luchen mis lacayos.
You raise the enchanted sword towards the creature, and as you do so, you feel a divine power that guides your hand and fills your heart. You strike the creature with all your might.
¿Reconocerá que la criatura es el malo de la aventura y cuando lo gane?
The creature's body. The creature lets out a deafening screech, and the ground begins to shake violently. You can feel the power of the magical sword weakening the creature. Your party joins you in the fight.
¿Veis? Y como he traído ayuda, o sea, se acuerda de que tengo ayuda, ¿sabes?
The creature thrashes about, hitting wildly, but you stand firm, determined to destroy it. In a sudden move, the creature lunges at you, but you parry the attack with your
¡Oh, parry!
leaving it vulnerable. You see your chance and deal a final blow with the enchanted sword. And the creature lets out a roar and disintegrates into dust. The earth stops shaking, and the mist clears. You breathe out a sigh of relief and your party joins you in celebrations. You begin to wonder if the creature's presence had something to do with the undead outbreak. You turn to your party and ask if they're ready to head back to the village and face the undead.
Pues nada. Obviamente, ¿no? Ahora los undead estarán a lo mejor debilitados o no. O a lo mejor no. Look for any useful loot from the battle and go back to the village. Hay que lootear siempre. Siempre hay que lootear. Se lo está inventando bastante bien, ¿eh?
Dust settles. You scan the surroundings and notice that the remains of the creature are littered with a few items. That may prove useful. Searching through the dust and debris, you find a small silver key.
Una llave de plata, ¿eh?
A bag of gold coins. And a piece of parchment with strange symbols scribbled on it. You quickly inform your party of your findings, and they agree to divvy up the loot. You offer the key to the party member who is best equipped to handle locks.
Increíble, ¿eh?
Hand over the healing potion to your most injured comrade.
¿Cómo le da cada cosa? Está guay, ¿eh? La IA. ¿Cómo le da cada cosa al...?
Parchment. You realize that it is a spell written in a language you've never seen before. Perplexed, you make a mental note to show it to the village priest.
¡Míralo! Es lo que iba a decir, que se lo enseñara al priest de la aldea, ¿eh?
You decide it's time to head back to the village and inform the villagers that the creature that was responsible for the undead outbreak has been defeated. With newfound confidence, you begin your journey back to the village with your party of warriors, clutching the silver key and other newfound treasures.
¡Qué bueno, tío! Venga, informamos al priest. Informamos al priest, que nos lea el pergamino, a ver. ¿Se acordará la IA de hablarle del pergamino al priest sin que yo se lo diga?
Upon returning to the village with your party of warriors, you head immediately to the chapel to speak with the village priest. You explain that you've found the key to the basement of the excavation site and the parchment with the strange symbols. The priest takes one look at the parchment.
Ahora me dice que es la llave del basement.
Symbols of the old ones. This is not good. The priest goes on to explain that the Old Ones are a group of ancient deities that
Cthulhu
have been banished long ago, but their followers still exist in dark corners and perform dark rituals. The priest urges you to take the silver key back to the excavation site immediately and stop whatever ritual the Old Ones' followers may have started. The priest offers to come along with you, but you decline, saying you will handle it with your party. You head
como tenemos una party. Vale. Perfecto, vuelve solo.
You are greeted with a nauseating smell and a dim light down the stairs. You cautiously move down the stairs to find yourself in a room filled with dark magic symbols and ancient artifacts around the edges of the room. As you approach the center of the room, you find several robed figures performing a ritual. You realize that this is the moment you've been waiting for.
El momento final.
Time to make a decision. What do you do?
Ok. Podemos intentar meterles miedo. O sea, la diplomacia. O atacar con sigilo. Swiftly, vamos a poner. Swiftly. ¿Qué os parece? En lo de que no me haya dicho que la llave... Que la llave fuera del sótano, pero bueno, luego me ha llevado otra vez al sótano, así que está bien.
Taking care not to make noise. As you get closer, you notice the robed figures are chanting and focused on the ritual, which is centered around a gruesome statue of a tentacled monstrosity. You take this opportunity to strike. You charge forward, striking one of the robed cultists with your enchanted sword. The surprise attack catches the cultists off guard, and you manage to take down 2 of them quickly. The remaining cultists turn to face you and your party, snarling and brandishing weapons. You fight back, weapons clashing fiercely. Despite the cultists' ferocity, you and your party are more skilled.
Bien.
And before long you've defeated the cultists and stopped the ritual. You examine the room, finding several artifacts and symbols that suggest a connection to the creatures and undead you've been fighting.
Perfecto.
Your party suggests destroying them, but you decide to take some with you as evidence to show the village.
Ok.
With the threat thwarted, you head back to the village to inform the priest and the villagers that the cultists have been defeated and the ritual stopped. They are relieved to hear the news and commend you for your bravery.
Perfecto.
As a reward for your efforts, the village offers to give you a share of the gold they've collected from defeating the undead,
Perfecto.
as well as some rare potions that will come in handy in future battles. You thank the villagers and decide that it's time to rest and prepare for whatever other dangers may come your way.
No me lo cuenta como que hemos terminado la historia. Ok. Bueno, devolvemos la espada. Bueno, espero que me lo lea bien. Lo he escrito mal. Supongo que al ser una IA entenderá que está mal escrito.
With the gold, rare potions, and artifacts safely stowed away, you decide to return the enchanted sword of protection to the village priest as promised. You head to the chapel where he is waiting and hand over the sword. The priest takes the sword and examines it closely, praising your bravery and skill in defeating the various threats that have been plaguing the village. He explains how the sword is a sacred relic passed down through generations of priests and warriors, and how it was meant to be used to protect the village from harm.
Perfecto.
The priest thanks you again for returning the sword and asks if you plan to stay in the village. You consider the offer, realizing that there may still be more dangers to come, but ultimately decide to continue on your journey.
Vaya.
Using your experience and new resources to face whatever dangers lie ahead. As you say your goodbyes and leave the chapel, you can feel the weight of responsibility fading from your shoulders. You know that there will be more challenges.
Qué bueno, tío.
For now, you can enjoy a brief moment of respite and reflect on the journey that has brought you this far.
Ya está bien, ¿no? Quiero decir, ya está la aventura, ¿no? Hemos matado a los malos, ¿no? Pues nada, pues podemos seguir. Venga. ¡Hala! ¿Qué podemos hacer? O sea, ahora mismo no hay malo. Podemos... comprar algo de armamento. E ir a buscar a los bandidos que robaron mi tesoro. ¿No? al fin y al cabo, siempre podemos darle una vuelta más a la aventura. Pero en fin, creo que ya más o menos os habéis dado una esta de qué va, ¿no? Puede estar muy bien jugar un stream con la peña, que vaya la gente como diciendo que le parece y tal. Está muy bien hecha la IA. Está muy bien hecha la IA. Sigue muy bien el hilo de la aventura y solo puede mejorar.
You browse the different weapons available and select a new sword, a bow, and a couple of daggers. With your new weapons in tow, you set out to track down the bandits who stole your treasure. You recall that the bandits had been spotted near a dense forest north of the village. So you head in that direction. After several hours of traveling, you finally reach the forest. But the dense undergrowth makes it challenging to navigate. You decide to proceed slowly and use your tracking skills to follow any signs of the bandits. As you make your way through the forest, you hear the sound of rustling leaves and
Realmente no,
in the distance.
no sé si es que lo han cambiado para que no tenga final. Porque la otra vez, ya digo, en 10 minutos ya había terminado la aventura. O sea, salió un malo, lo vencí y gané y ya está.
Dividing your treasure, you signal the attack and charge forward, unleashing your new weapons with full force. The bandits fight back fiercely, but your superior skills and new equipment give you the upper hand.
Mola como se acuerda de que tengo nuevo equipamiento, ¿sabes? Y
one by one, taking them down until only a few remain. The remaining bandits realize that they have been defeated and offer to return your treasure in exchange for their lives. You consider the offer for a moment but ultimately decide to take the treasure and let them go.
Ah, vale. A la iros y no os mato.
And with satisfaction in your heart, you head back towards the village. You realize that the journey ahead won't be easy, but with your new weapons, experience, and resources, you are ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead.
Ahora estoy mamadísimo. Bueno, básicamente no tiene fin, ¿no? Cada vez que termina una aventura, me dice los objetivos que a lo mejor lo han cambiado, ¿sabes? Lo han cambiado para que no tenga, o sea, para que realmente esto te lo dé como un final abierto y tú puedas seguir o no, ¿no? Puedes hacer clic aquí. ¿Por qué? ¿Hola? Ah, puedes ir pasando las páginas y verlo como si fuera un libro. Y puedo decirle finalizar la aventura. Bueno, si os ha molado, ya sabéis la página. Os la pondré en la descripción. Y realmente no sé qué van a hacer, si van a ser plan de pago o no. De momento está en un early y va a salir este mes. Así que si os mola, pues pasaros a echarle un vistazo, ¿vale?
You take a moment to catch your breath and reflect on the journey that has led you here. From battling the undead to investigating
Mira, se acuerda,
defeating the cultists.
Se acuerda de todo,
Down the bandits that stole your treasure.
Y todo empezó acabando,
Been a long and arduous journey.
Todo empezó con una acción que le he dicho.
As you make your way back to the village, you realize that the adventure is over, and it's time to rest and recover. You decide to spend some time in the village, relaxing and training with your new weapons.
Y se acuerda de que tengo armas nuevas.
Who regard you as a hero for all that you have done to protect them.
Igual que antes se acordó que tenía una party.
Cuisine, reveling in the sense of community and belonging that comes with being part of a small, tight-knit village.
Te haces cocinero.
The days pass. You find yourself becoming more and more at peace with the world around you.
Vale.
You know that there will be more challenges. But for now, you are content to enjoy the simple pleasures of life.
Vale, pues no está mal, ¿no? Nos hemos retirado, hemos salvado a la aldea.
A story of adventure, danger, and triumph against all odds. You take a final glance around the village. knowing that you will never forget this place or the people who have taken you in as one of their own. With a deep sense of gratitude and renewed purpose, you set out to seek more adventures and make new memories, knowing that the journey ahead will be just as exciting and
Claro, es como si se reseteara, ¿no? Dice, vuelves a... Ahora empieza una aventura nueva. O sea, aunque le des una conclusión a lo que acabas de hacer, siempre te dice algo nuevo. O sea, que realmente es como infinito, ¿no? Muy interesante, muy interesante. Te cierra el capítulo, pero tú puedes seguir y sigues con el mismo personaje. Eso está muy chulo. Bueno, si os ha molado, ya sabéis, ahí os dejo el enlace. Gracias por pasaros y por echar un vistazo, amigo, en mi aventura contra los no muertos. Y nada más, si queréis que os enseñe más jueguecitos, decídmelo en los comentarios o dejadme un likecito. Y si no, pues no. Un abrazo y adiós.